back, everybody, to SJG Perspective. I have my phone and I'm hitting timer. We have 3 minutes. I don't know if you can see this. 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Okay, that is what I am going to make this video in because I want to get in and do a few other things, but I did want to make a quick video. So here we go. I was reading an article when I came back. Please subscribe, hit the bell notification, blah, 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 blah. Okay? I want to try to do this in yeah, and I'm down to 3 minutes and 40 seconds. I take way too much time talking, but you can hang out for this video. So much is going on with this shooting stuff. So much to say. Probably got to save it for the live stream. One thing that I found very interesting when I, you know, if you're living under a rock, you didn't know there was a couple shootings in the last few hours, right? President Trump says this thing on CNN. Perhaps more needs to be done. Worries me a little bit that he says that, and I don't necessarily know what he means by that. But I'm not going to address that right now. That could be saved for later. That bothers me, though, in a little bit. Here's what I wanted to point out of how they spin these narratives, okay? Here's how they spin it in here. You could read this article if you want to, but it says, I'm just jumping in here. It says, early Sunday, a shooter opened fire in Dayton, Ohio, killing 9 people in the city's Oregon district, a popular downtown area. The shooter was shot and killed by responding officers. That's how they respond about the guy in Dayton. Pretty interesting that we can compare these two different shootings because they happen so closely to one another. I have 2 minutes and 38 seconds, so here we go. Here's how they spun the shooting, the first shooting that happened in El Paso. The shooter, hours before on Saturday, a shooter opened fire at an El Paso, Texas shopping center, killing at least 20 people. A 21-year-old white supremacist is in custody in the Texas domestic terrorism case. I find it very interesting how they define those two different little dealios there. Because the first shooter nobody was talking about right now in the media that I've seen was an avowed socialist, leftist, anarchist who supported Elizabeth Warren, who hated people, who trolled people, and wasn't, like I said, an avowed leftist. So why isn't he being treated as a domestic terrorist? An anarchist, right? He's this anarchist, socialist anarchist, far left winger, right? Who pays homage to Satan, and yet he just gets a blurb of there was a shooter in Ohio, killed 9 people. He was shot. But the other one who just killed a couple more people is all spelled out there. He was a white supremacist, right? He's in custody in the domestic terrorism case. And I believe if his manifesto, if I heard this right, his manifesto, right, he even diminishes Trump. They're saying he's a Trump supporter. I don't know that for sure. The news is coming out, and I've been gone for the last few days. But it's really interesting how CNN wants to spin this one, isn't it? Don't you find it interesting? Maybe not. Maybe it's to be expected. To me, it's to be expected. But how the Dayton, Ohio guy who's a leftist, he doesn't get hardly any play, a couple sentences. The other guy is getting all the play on most of the media. You know, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson is getting all taken apart right now because he comes out and lists out all these other categories of how many people have died in the last 24-hour period. And it's far, far more than these shootings, right? And he gets taken down, right? He gets just absolutely taken down because it isn't about the deaths. It's about the sensationalism of it, right? And it's about the narrative that's being pushed that wants to take your guns and my guns away and blame all people, all white people, and wants to blame all white people for the problems. So more on that later as my timer is now starting to go off. There it is right there. So this is SJG Perspective. No, it's SJG Perspective. And I will try to shut that off. Totally screwing up my closing. It's SJG Perspective. I appreciate you guys hanging out a little bit longer than 3 or 4 minutes, but way better than my normal length, right? I'm going to do more on this later, but I just wanted to get a video up. And so tune in. We'll probably do a stream later tonight. Don't know that for sure. See if I'm tired enough or not. But without fear or animus, it's SJG Perspective, and we will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Could have probably made that outro a little smoother.